So here, now what I'm trying to do is I'm giving some extreme values to the two transistors, thereby checking the maximum possible value of differential voltage. So for that, I'll be giving a highly positive value at the gate terminal and at the same time 0 volt at the gate 2 terminal, so that this entire current I will be flowing through the transistor Q1. At the same time, there is no current flowing through Q2. Okay, so you know that ID1 plus ID2 will make I, the total biasing current. It is depending on ID1 and ID2. So eventually, since ID2 is getting 0 now because of this input voltage at the gate 2, there is no conduction taking place through the transistor. So this entire current I will be flowing through the Q1. So ID1 is nothing but equal to I now, as of now. Understood? So that case we are going to analyze, and we are trying to find out the maximum differential voltage what I can give. So in this particular situation, ID1 is equal to I. When it will happen, please read this particular point. When this particular thing is happening, ID1 is equal to I. Please read this point. It is useful to find the value of VID that causes the entire current I to flow in one of the two transistors, either through Q1 or through Q2. Okay, so in the positive direction, what you're doing is, positive direction means VID is positive. Don't misunderstand this. In the positive direction means VID is positive. VID means it is VGS1 minus VGS2. So VGS1 is positive. So VGS1, it reaches the value that corresponds to ID1 equal to I. And VGS2, you are such a way it is reducing that there is no current flowing through Q2. Okay, but thing to be maintained is at least this VGS is equal to VT. At least this gate source voltage, it should be equal to threshold voltage. That you have to maintain. Fine. Now what is this VGS? VG is nothing but VG minus VS. You know that in this gate terminal you are giving 0. As far as the second transistor is concerned, the gate voltage is 0. So 0 minus Vs is equal to Vt, or Vs is equal to minus Vt. So this keep in mind. So these two conditions now we are going to deal with. Okay, I'll repeat. My intention or my aim is to find the value of VID. Please underline this, is very important. We are going to find the value of VID that causes the entire current I to flow in one of the two transistors alone. The entire current I is flowing through one transistor, and to the other transistor it is going to be 0. There is no current flow in the other transistor. It is confined only to the one transistor. So ID1 is equal to capital I. Under the situation, ID2 is equal to 0. To keep ID2 is equal to 0, what you have to do is you have to keep that gate voltage 0. At the same time, the gate source voltage should be equal to threshold voltage. The gate voltage, it should be 0. You're not going to give any signal to the second transistor's gate. At the same time, that gate source voltage, the difference, no, it should be at least equal to Vt, so that VGS is nothing but it is equal to Vt. What is Vg as of now? Vg is 0. So 0 minus Vt, Vs is equal to Vt, or Vs is equal to minus Vt. So this much of voltage is appearing now at the source terminal. Okay. Now, these two conditions we are going to keep in mind, and we will be applying it later. Now, we know that equation, as far as any transistor working in a saturation condition, you know that equation I is equal to half K n dash W by L into VGS1 minus VT the whole square. Why VGS1? Because this current is flowing through Q1. The entire current I, now I am able to steer it through Q1. You're not going to have any current more in the Q2. So you will be dealing with only VGS1 minus VT the whole square. From this, you just rearrange and find VGS1. Okay. Just taking square root, you will remove the square and find VGS1. And what is this VGS minus VT? It is VOV. So you got VOV equation also now. Now, put 2 in 1. So this equation, you can put in equation number 1. Okay. So VGS1 is equal to, here root 2 you can take outside. VGS1 is equal to root 2. The remaining term square root of I divided by K n dash W by L is nothing but your VOV. So VGS1 is equal to root 2 VOV plus VT. where VOB is the overdrive voltage corresponding to the drain current of I by 2, what you have learned in the previous derivation. Understood? In the previous derivation, we have already we have done with this equation we have already done. Root of I divided by Kn dash into W by L, it was VOV, but actually this VOV you got it from the previous common mode range when the current was I by 2, that I have mentioned here. So when the drain current was I by 2, the VOV was like this. Okay. Now you will find the value of VID max. What is VID max? By just applying KVL here, VID is depending on VGS and VS, isn't it? VID is depending upon VGS and VS, so that now you can write VID max as VGS1 plus VS. Okay. Here, putting 3 and A in 4, you know the equation for VGS1, it is root 2 VOB plus VT. So instead of VGS1, VT plus root 2 VOB, and actually what was VS? VS is minus VT. So that instead of VS you can put minus VT, VT will get cancelled. So VID max equal to root 2 VOB. So this will be the maximum differential input voltage which you can give, so that your transistor Q1 is now in on position or it is in saturation position, and the entire current I is flowing through Q1 at the same time, that is keeping the transistor Q2 off. Understood? This I'll repeat again once more. What I have done is, my intention is to find the maximum value of VID that will allow the entire current I to flow through Q1 at the same time Q2 is off. To make Q2 off, you have to give a ground voltage at gate 2. But take care that the second transistor VGS is VT. So VGS is equal to VT means VG minus VS is equal to VT. VG is 0 because I didn't apply any voltage at the gate of Q2. So 0 minus VC equal to VT, VS equal to VT. So VS is equal to minus VT. So these two currents, these two conditions we'll be dealing with later. Then you wrote the current equation. Then from that you find the value of VGS1. Okay. In that you substituted the equation for VOV. This you get from the previous common mode range derivation, where VOV is overdrive voltage corresponding to a drain of I by 2, because in the common mode range you are having only I by 2 current flowing through Q1 and flowing through Q2. So root 2 you take outside, the other point you substitute as VOV. So VGS1 is equal to root 2 VOV plus VT. So this you require, and this also you require. So you require equation number A and equation number 3 to find the value of VID max. How you are going to write the equation for VID is just by applying KVL to the input side. You know, a portion is flowing, dropping across gate source. The another portion is coming across S. So VID max is nothing but VGS1 plus VS. So VID max is equal to VGS1 plus VS. Instead of VGS1, you can put this root 2 VOV plus VT. Instead of VS, you will put minus VT. So minus VT gets cancelled. So this will be the maximum differential input voltage that is sufficient for a transistor to be in the saturation region, or to steer the entire current I through the Q1. At the same time, the current flowing through Q2 is 0. Similarly, next thing what you will do is, VID you will keep negative. VID keeping negative means here you will be applying VID or positive value, here you will be applying 0 value, so that the entire current will be flowing through Q2 and Q1 will be off. So that again you can find in this way itself. So similarly, what you will get is VID will be now minus root 2 VOB. Similar approach. So now I need to derive this again. Similar approach in the negative direction, you will find that the maximum VID should be minus root 2 VOV. So as to turn off Q1 and at the same time turn on Q2, and so that the entire current I will be flowing through Q2 at the same time Q1 remains off. Okay. So our conclusion is, this differential input voltage, now it belongs to a particular range that should be within minus root 2 VOV or root 2 VOV. It should not go beyond this. So the difference between the two signals, that is VGS1 and VGS2, that we are applying to the two MOSFETs, it should lie within this range only. It should not exceed this range. That range is known as differential mode operation. Only if your input is between this range. When it was root 2 VOV means I1 will be equal to ID. At the same time, the entire current I will be flowing through ID1. At the same time, Q2 is off, there is no current. When your input is minus root 2 VOV means the entire current I will be flowing through Q2. At the same time, Q1 is off. But when VID is in between, this means a few current will be flowing through Q1, a few current will be flowing through Q2. Definitely you are getting then two voltages also. Okay, VD1 and VD2. Understood? So these two extremities are the maximum VID max in the positive direction and the minimum negative direction, so that your input differential input should lie within these two values. If your differential input is not lying between these two range, means this differential amplifier operation will not take place. Differential amplifier operation means the difference between the two signals are getting amplified. That particular criteria, it will not work. So this range is known as differential mode range. So question will be like this: justify the statement that the current can be steered from one transistor to other by applying VID in this range. So please read this last sentence. By setting this VID in this particular range, I will be able to steer the current I from one transistor to other transistor. I can set more current flowing through Q1 by applying VID positive. Applying VID positive means VGS1 should be greater than VGS2. Similarly, I can steer more current to Q2 if I can set VID as negative. VID negative means VGS1 should be less than that of VGS2. So similarly, by setting appropriate values of VID, you will be able to steer the current from one transistor to other transistor, but careful that VID should be within this particular range. That range is known as differential mode range. And if at all you are setting this VID in its extreme values, right, like root 2 VOV and minus root 2 VOV, then you will be able to steer the entire current through one transistor, either through Q1 if your input is root 2 VOV, or through the entire current will be steered through Q2 if your input VID is minus root 2 VOV. This is known as differential mode of operation. Any doubts you can ask? Any doubts? Clear now? Okay. So that is enough for today's class. So for B section, I will be taking Friday. For C section, tomorrow I will be taking. I will let you know the timings for tomorrow later. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So.